Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to our Bhagavad Gita daily reading session. So this is the weekly recap session. So today we are on week 2. Before beginning our session, let us offer Mangalacharan. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Last week we had discussed preface, setting the scene and preface, and today we will continue some portions of the introduction section. We are reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is translated by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is beginning the introduction with Mangalacharan. Okay, just wait a moment. I'm not sure which version of PPT I just shared because I see here different font which you are not able to read. Just wait a moment. I will quickly share this here again. Okay, so Mangalacharan means invoking auspiciousness. So this is the tradition. This is a protocol followed by most of the acharyas. While they begin any of their compositions, they start its tradition to begin with Mangalachara. That is basically invoking auspiciousness, so that there will not be any obstacle and they will be able to complete the work. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, say Mangalacharan hai trividha prakara, vastu nirdesha, asirvada, namaskar. So there are 3 type of Mangalacharan. One is vastu nirdesha, second is asirvada, and third type is namaskara. Vastu nirdesha means in that particular prayer, the object of that book will be established. And Asirvada, in Asirvadatmak Mangalacharan, reader will invoke auspiciousness for the readers and blessings for the readers. And in Namaskaratmak Mangalacharan, the writer basically present his gratitude and offer his obeisances and prayers to the Supreme Lord. So he begins with the Guru Pranama mantra. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om in Supreme Lord. Ajnana Timirandhasya. Timira means darkness. Ajnana means ignorance. Andhasya means to be blinded. O my Supreme Lord, I was blinded by darkness of ignorance. Then what happened? Jnananjana salakaya chakshur unmilitam yena chakshu I unjana anjana salakaya. Salakaya is a particular type of instrument with which we are applying anjana, means ointment. So which kind of ointment someone has used to open the eyes of that person who is blinded by darkness of ignorance? That is jnana. By the knowledge, by the ointment of knowledge, the personality who has opened my eyes, tasmai, to that personality is none other than my Guru, Sri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Then he offers his prayer to Sampradaya Acharya, who is none other than Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam. Sri Chaitanya means Lord Chaitanya. Can you please mute yourself? Yeah, so that there won't be any sound in the background. Sri Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu. Manovishtam, his deep desire of the heart. Avishtam, who has understood the innermost desire of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is he? Srila Rupa Goswami. And what he has done? Stapitam ena bhutale. He has established that desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this surface of earth. To that personality, Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Swayam Rupaha. He himself is Rupa Goswami. Yeah, he himself is Rupa Goswami. Kadamahyam, when will he Dadati Swapadantikam, give me shelter under his lotus feet. Srila Rupa Goswami basically compiled voluminous literature based on the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he had also brought out all these Leela-sthalis in Vrindavan as per the direction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has restored all the lost Leela-sthalis. Then he offers Mangalacharan. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitam Sha. Vandeham Sri Guru. I offer my obeisances to Sri Guru, Sri Utapada Kamalam, to his lotus feet, Sri Gurun, all the spiritual masters in the Parampara, Vaishnavamsha, and to all the Vaishnava, Sri Rupam, to Srila Rupa Goswami, Sa Agrajatam, and to his elder brother, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Saha Gana Raghunathan Vitam Tamsa Jiva, to Raghunath Das Goswami, to Jiva Goswami, to Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, and Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So all the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. First he offers the prayers to the Guru Parampara, and then Sada Goswami, 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Then Sadvaitam, Savadhutam, Sa Advaitam, Advaitacharya, Sa Abadhutam, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Then Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Pandit. Sri Radha Krishna Padan, Sahagana Lalita, Sri Visakhan Vitamsa, Sri Radha Krishna Padan, the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, Sahagana Lalita and Vishakha, okay, with the prominent associates of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, who are Lalita Manjari and Vishakha Manjari, and all other dear associates. Shri Krishna Pranama Mantra. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Hey Krishna, okay, call out in a mode of dependence to Lord Krishna, who is all attractive. Hey Krishna, you are Karuna Sindhu, you are the ocean of mercy. Not only that, you are Dinabandhu, you are the friend of the poor. Jagatpate, you are the protector of the whole world. And of course, very much capable of protecting me too. Gopesha, you are the Lord of all the Gopas, or the residents of Vrindavan. Gopika Kanta, and more specially, you are lover of the Gopis. And supreme specially, you are Radha Kanta, you are the eternal lover of Srimati Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Namostute. Shri Radha Pranam Mantra. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Tapta Kanchana, the complexion of Srimati Radharani is like molten gold. Tapta Kanchana. Gaurangi, the color of his skin is molten color. Okay, he's fair. Gaura Anga, Gaurangi. Radhe, Srimati Radharani. Vrindavaneshwari, who is queen of Vrindavan. That means even Krishna is also subordinate to her. Vrindavaneshwari. Who is she? Brisabhanu Sute. She is the dear daughter of King Brisabhanu and Queen Kirtida. Devi, O Supreme Goddess, Pranamami, I offer my respectful obeisances. O Haripriye, who is dear to Lord Hari, I offer my obeisances. Srimati Radharani, the name Radha comes from Aradhitaha, okay, who is the supreme worshipper of Krishna. So she is none other than the devotion personified, the ocean of devotion. And if we can receive a drop of that mercy, our life will be perfect. Then Sri Vaishnava Pranama Mantra. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So the Vaishnavas are the channel through which Lord's mercy will flow through them to us. Otherwise, there is no any other means. Because unless and until we reestablish our relationship with the Supreme Lord, the Vaishnavas, are always the channel through which the love of devotion, the blessings will flow to us. So, how are the Vaishnavas? Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Vancha means desire. Kalpatarubhyascha, a Vaishnava is the embodiment of desire fulfilling tree. Kripa Sindhu Bhyavacha, he is the ocean of mercy. Kripa Sindhu, because just like Krishna, Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. Okay. Similarly, the Vaishnavas inherit the similar quality, okay, of Krishna. Patitanam pavanebhyo. Why Vaishnavas are Kripa Sindhu? Because although I do not have any qualification, I do not have any necessary eligibility, but still they have the capability to infuse devotional service, okay, inside us, okay? A mood of devotion inside us, okay? Although we do not have any qualifications, out of their causeless mercy. Patitanam pavanebhyo. Patitanam, that means who are fallen. Okay. So for the fallen, they are the deliverers. The Vaishnavas are the deliverers for the fallen souls. Vaishnavabhyo, to all these Vaishnavas, Namo Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Then Sri Panchatattva Pranam Mantra. Sri Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, none other than Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Prabhu Nityananda, Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Advaita, Advaita Acharya. Gadadhar, Gadadhar Pandit. Srivasadi, Srivas Pandit, and rest other associates of Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, who are the dear associates of Sriman Mahaprabhu. But to all of them, I offer my respectful obeisances. Let them be glorified. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So after giving Mangalacharan, Srila Prabhupada is explaining what is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is known as Gita Upanishad. Upanishad are the essence of Vedic knowledge. And Gita Upanishad is one particular Upanishad which is the essence of Vedic knowledge. Most important Upanishad in the Vedic canon. And as the name suggests, Gita means it's a song. Bhagavad Gita, it's a song sang by the Supreme Lord. Our Vedic canon is basically divided into threefold. That is called Prasthana Traya. Any bona fide sampradaya have commentaries on these three prasthana. Then it will be called a bona fide sampradaya. So the first one is Shruti Prasthana. Shruti Prasthana means, Shruti means hearing. Okay? In the process of hearing, that knowledge has been descended from the Supreme Lord with the chain of Guru and disciplic succession. In the process of hearing only. So what does it mean? That means the sound vibrations came from the Supreme Lord as it is exactly without any alteration transmitted, okay, down the line. That is Shruti Prasthana. So who fall in that category? All the Vedas, Upanishads, 4 Vedas, 108 Upanishads, and all. So these are basically Vedic instructions. And the second one is Smriti Prasthana. So Smriti Prasthana, they also emanate from the Supreme Lord, but they were transmitted in Guru disciplic succession in the process of remembrance. So that means when disciple heard from Guru and he then passes on to the next disciple, and he, in that process, the words might change, but the essential teachings remain the same. With his realization, the same is getting transmitted to the next generation. So this is the basic difference. And what is the need of the Smriti Prasthana? Basically, the same essential teachings of Veda is presented in a more elaborated and in an applied form, okay, with the different pastimes, which is releasable, easy to understand, relatable. Okay. And Puranas, all the Puranas, 18 Puranas, Upapuranas, and Itihasa like Mahabharata and Ramayana, they fall in this category. And Bhagavad Gita, since it's the part of Mahabharata, that also falls in this category of Smriti. But at the same time, it can be also called Shruti because that has been spoken by the Supreme Lord himself when he was in the earth. So Bhagavad Gita is both Shruti and Smriti Prasthana. And then third is Nyaya Prasthana, basically a logical presentation of the essential teachings of Vedas, which are systematically compiled in 555 aphorisms, sutra, okay, in the formula form. So what is the necessity of Bhagavad Gita? After introducing Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada is writing, there are many Bhagavad Gita translations available. So what is the need of his translation? He's revealing that many commentaries of Bhagavad Gita are available already, but most of the editions available at that point in time, they were not authoritative. Why? Because the author has expressed their own opinion in that book without touching the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. And he calls his presentation of Bhagavad Gita like Bhagavad Gita as it is. What was the spirit of Bhagavad Gita, in the same spirit this translation is written. Let us understand what is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. The spirit of the Bhagavad Gita is already contained in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Like when we take any medicines, how we will take? We will take the medicine as per the direction by the physicians or as per the instruction written in the medicine. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita should be accepted as directed by the speaker himself, who is the physician, okay, who is the real physician. He is prescribing the medicine, some of the instructions, okay. So that has to be accepted as directed by the speaker, who is none other than Lord Sri Krishna. Who is Sri Krishna? He establishes himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan. And many great acharyas, spiritual masters like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Nimbak Swami, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have all confirmed this. Yes, Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Bhagavan. And all the scriptures have also mentioned the same point. Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and all Puranas. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken as directed by Lord Krishna. What do we mean by Bhagavan? Parasara Muni in Vishnu Purana says this beautiful verse defining Bhagavana, one who is full in 6 opulence. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya sasasriya jnana vairagyayasya sanam bhaga itingana. Who is full with all the 6 opulences, he is called Bhagavana. What are those 6 opulences? Strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. These six opulences are present in full, in infinite, in that person. That personality is Supreme Bhagavan. And Krishna is full with all the six opulences, and no other personality is unlimitedly filled with all these six opulences. That is the conclusion of all the Vedic literatures. And Krishna establishes the parampara. He himself given this knowledge. Before giving this knowledge to Arjuna, he has given this knowledge to Shangad, Vivasvana. So that means it's an eternal knowledge. It is always existing. He speaks in chapter 4, verse 1 to 3, this subject. He first given this knowledge to Shangad, and then Shangad to Manu, and Manu to Ikshvaku. But in due course of time, this knowledge appears to be lost. Hence, Krishna chose Arjuna to give this knowledge again. And that very particular purpose, Krishna descended to this material world to re-establish this message. And Arjuna being the first disciple in this new parampara. Why he chose Arjuna? Because Arjuna was the devotee of Krishna. Bhakto simeti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. This confidential knowledge I am giving to you, Arjuna, because you are my dear friend and you are my dear devotee. Bhakto sime sakha cheti. So this is basically the essential quality required to understand Bhagavad Gita. So out of all the different category of transcendentalists, transcendentalist means who are endeavoring for perfection, who are endeavoring to know the absolute truth. Out of all of them, the most important quality should be he should be a devotee of the Lord. How many kind of transcendentalists are there? There are three classes of transcendentalists. One is Jnani, Yogi, and Bhakta. Jnani is who believes in the impersonal form of the Lord. He concentrates, his ultimate perfection is to have the Brahman realization. Okay. Brahman realization is also one kind of realization for the Supreme Lord only, okay, of Krishna only, because he tells Brahmano hi pratisthaham. It is his bodily effulgences, the rays of light. Okay, but that is not the complete understanding of the Supreme Lord. Then Yogi, he has little bit more advanced realization than Jnani, because he concentrates on the Paramatma form of the Lord. He sees Lord in his heart. That is Paramatma realization. While Bhakta, he realized Supreme Lord in a most complete form in Bhagavan, in which already the Brahman aspect and Paramatma aspect is already there. And he established a relationship with the Lord. Okay. That is the Bhakta and Bhagavan relationship. How many relations, how many kind of relationships are there? There are basically 5 prominent relationships in which the devotee shares his relation with the Supreme Lord. In that relation, what is being shared is called rasa, the taste. Both the Supreme Lord and the devotee, they experience some transcendental mellows, which is called rasa. In Santa rasa, okay, like the trees, flutes, cows, they exchange this relationship with the Supreme Lord. And then Dasya Rasa. Hanumanji is the representing this Dasya Rasa in the mood of servant. Okay, that's called active state. In the mood of service. And Sakhya Rasa, friend. Example is Arjuna. And many other dear friends of Krishna in Vrindavan. They share a friendly relationship with Krishna. And parental, Vatshalya Rasa, example, we can take Mother Yashoda and Nandabhava, Vasudev, Devaki Mata, and Kausalya, and Dasarath, many, Vidurani, So they approach Krishna in Vatshalya Rasa. And the supreme most is conjugal or Madhurya Rasa, all the dear gopis in Vrindavan and Srimati Radharani. So out of all these, like the Santa Rasa, then next is Dasya Rasa. Dasya Rasa already contains the Santa Rasa in it. Then Sakhya Rasa is already containing Santa and Dasya. Then Vatshalya is containing all the three. Madhurya, this contains all the four rasa, including Madhurya. Then there are also 7 other secondary rasas that has been given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Hasya, Adbhuta, Virya, Karuna, Raudra, Vivatsa, and Vaya. And this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam while Krishna was entering to the Mathura. Then when various kind of personality are seeing him, at the same time, they experience various kinds of emotions. Like all the 14 rasas has been experienced by different personality. Then why we are not able to, see any kind of relationship with the Supreme Lord? Because in the present condition, we have forgotten our actual position. Everyone is actually related to Supreme Lord, because he himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamevansha jivaloka jivabhuta sanatana. You all are my fragment, parts and parcel. So that is basically our Swarupa. Our actual identity. Jivera Swarupa hai Nitya Krishna Das. We all are servants of the Supreme Lord. He is the dear master. But we have forgotten this relationship, this eternal relationship. We have forgotten Lord and the relationship. But in the process of devotional service, when we keep on rendering our devotional service, then at the perfection stage, it is possible to get to know our own Swarupa. That is called Swarupa Siddhi. So we all shares a very particular individual relationship with Krishna. So that is called the perfection of the spiritual endeavor. How Arjuna has accepted Bhagavad Gita? He reveals his heart. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Saswatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Adam, Ajam Vibhum. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, 12 verse, he is revealing his heart. And he is telling, oh my dear Lord Krishna, you are Param Brahma, you are the Supreme Brahman. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, your abode is ultimate. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, you are the purest. Okay, you are not contaminated by this material creations. You are above the 3 modes. You are above Sattva, Raja and Tama. Paramam Bhavan, you are the absolute truth. Purusham, you are the supreme enjoyer. Saswatam, you are eternal. Divyam, you are transcendental. You are Adidevam, you are the original Lord. You are the beginning of everything, and there is no beginning of you. Ajam, you are unborn. That means you do not have any father and mother. Vibhum, the greatest, accepted by all acharyas. Then he says, he continued to say in verse 13 and 14, he's telling that you are being accepted. That it is not only that, oh, I am your dear friend, I am kind of exaggerating you. It's not like this. You know, many other acharyas, Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, they have also confirmed that. And moreover, you yourself has confirmed this in Bhagavad Gita. So I totally accept you as complete truth. Then how Bhagavad Gita should be understood? This is very important subject to know. How Arjuna has accepted Bhagavad Gita, in the same spirit we should accept Bhagavad Gita. Then only it can be fully understood. In the spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality. He is our dear master and we are his dear servant. In that mood, in that spirit of devotion, we should approach Bhagavad Gita. One should not think that Krishna is an ordinary personality or even a very great personality in historic in the history. No, Krishna is Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead himself. He is not like all of us or any great jiva. No, he himself is Bhagavan and descended to this material world. If, so Prabhupada is pleading, if by any chance you are not able to generate this feeling, this is not coming naturally, then at least theoretically accept Krishna as supreme personality of Godhead and approach Bhagavad Gita, then you will be able to understand. Okay, then you could feel your conviction will be more strengthened the more and more you read Bhagavad Gita. So one should read Bhagavad Gita in that submissive spirit. Else it is very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita because it is a mystery. Rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Although it is great, but it is rahasya. You know, it's a mystery. Okay, you should have the password to decode this message. The password is the spirit of devotion. Why did Krishna, what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita? Why did Krishna descend to give this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita? The main purpose is to deliver the mankind from the nescience of material existence. We all are in our ignorant stage in this material condition. We are in a conditioned state. Actually, we are Jivaya Swarupaha Nitya Krishna Das. That is our constitutional position. But now we are conditioned by varieties of coverings. Every man, that's the reason we are suffering here. Every man is full of difficulty and anxiety in this material world. We are put into asat, the temporary, but actually we are eternal. We are the part and parcel of him. Out of so many suffering, some inquiries why we are suffering. They want to know the solution. They want to know who are they, where they come from, and what is the actual purpose of their life. All these things. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Let us inquire our own real position. For such sincere students, Bhagavad Gita is spoken. For that particular purpose only, Krishna has descended to this material world to establish the real purpose of life, to re-establish the real purpose of life, okay? To let us know, what is our exact, our real position, and how we can, by knowing our real position, what is the method to re-establish this relationship again. He says, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. Out of many, many human beings, few have awakened this desire for inquiry in their heart. And out of all them, very few actually develops the spirit of devotion. And for them, Bhagavad Gita is spoken. And Lord is very merciful on the living entities. Out of his causeless mercy, he's taking the pain, I would say. Okay, of course, there is no experience of pain for the Supreme Lord, but living means out of his Golak Vrindavan, okay, he is descending to this material world for this very purpose only, to speak Bhagavad Gita to us. He is speaking to Arjuna. Arjuna basically do not need this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, because he is a Nitya Parsad of Lord Krishna. He is dear associate, close associate of Krishna. He is put into ignorance by the internal potency of the Lord, which bewilders Arjuna just before the onset of war. Arjuna is not an ordinary personality. He is the dear devotee and friend of Krishna. How can he be such ignorant? And you will see in the Bhagavad Gita, he is putting the questions like all of us, okay, ordinary jiva. Why? Because he is playing the role of ordinary jiva, so that Krishna can speak this confidential knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to all of us through him. Basically, Arjuna is acting as a medium. But does Arjuna knows that? Is it like Arjuna is acting? No. It's an inconceivable potential of the Supreme Lord. He is putting Arjuna in that bewildered state. Arjuna also not able to figure it out. So he is behaving like a ordinary jiva. We should not think that, oh, Arjuna is so ignorant. No. What he has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, we will see. Okay, basically Bhagavad Gita, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan says that Bhagavad Gita contains all these 5 truths. So basically, whatever section you study, you will find that either one of them or many of them has been spoken in that section. These are 5 essential truths: Ishvara Tattva, Jiva Tattva, Prakriti Tattva, Karma, and Kala. These 5 essential truth has been spoken. Ishvara. What do you mean by Ishvara? Is a supreme enjoyer. And Jiva, we can call it also Jagadisha. Okay. Jiva is an individual living entity. And Prakriti is the material nature. And karma is the activities what we are doing. Kala is the time factor. Okay, let me repeat. Ishvara, the supreme controller; Jiva, the living entity; Prakriti, the material nature; Karma is the activities which Jiva perform; and Kala is the eternal time. Ishvara means supreme controller. So this Jiva and Prakriti, Kala, Karma, everything are in the control of the Supreme Lord. Hence, he is the supreme controller. Because we can understand like that, like Jiva, we are also part and parcel of Supreme Lord. That's the reason we inherent also that quality of controlling mindset. We used to also show our controllership, wherever we are. In the office, we control the colleagues. In family, we control the family members. In society, we want to control some of the people. Okay, we have this controller mentality. Okay, but no matter how much we try, we cannot control everything. Okay? The supreme controller can control everything. So that is God. And Prakriti is the material nature that is also not independent. Of course, this is unconscious. Prakriti means there is no any consciousness. Jiva means it has consciousness. Okay, all kind of varieties, living entities, including human being, demigods. Okay, all are included here. Okay, so they have two states, conditioned state and constitution state. In their constitutional state, they know their relationship with the Supreme Lord and they reside in their actual home along with the Supreme Lord. But in the conditioned state, they have forgotten their master and they are residing here in this material world. So that is basically conditioned state. And they no more understand their real identity. They are now identifying in the asat, in the temporary, which is this material body and this material creation. Okay. And the Prakriti is that material creation, which is Bhumir, Apan, Alo, Vayu, Kam, Mana, Buddhir, Vacha, Ahankara, Ityamte, Vinna Prakriti Rastada. Krishna says in 7th chapter. So these are Prakriti. It contains 24 elements, okay, which is very much delineated in the Sankhya philosophy. Okay, told by Kapila Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, this is Prakriti, and Prakriti is not independent. Prakriti is under the direction of Supreme Lord. Maya adhyakshana Prakriti sugate sacharacharam. Under my direction, this Prakriti works. As if we will see that everything is happening automatically, but actually there is a supreme controller behind. Okay? The sun is rising in a particular time, setting at a particular time. Sun cannot say that, oh, I will not rise tomorrow. No, there is no any possibility. Okay? Everything has to happen periodically. Winter, summer, rain. Everything is repeating by itself. Kala, basically in the influence of time. And everything in this material world, these elements of Prakriti are deteriorating in the influence of time. Nitya Pralaya. Everything is perishing just because the influence of time. And Krishna says, Kalosmi. Okay, time is none other than his energy. And this Jiva and Prakriti, they are also the energy of the Supreme Lord. Prakriti is the Virna Prakriti Rastada. It is my separated external energy. And Jiva are the Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha energy means marginal potency. These are the separated but higher than the Prakriti. He still aparayam itastu anyam. Aparayam itastu anyam. What is that verse? Jiva bhuta mahavaho yayadam dharyate jagat. Aparayam itastu anyam prakritim vidhime param. Yes. Aparayam itastu anyam prakritim vidhime param Jiva bhutam mahavaho yayadam dharyate jagat. Okay. Param. Okay. So this Jiva is higher in power than the Prakriti. But Prakriti is ruling over him because he has developed a mentality to lord over the material nature, and then he is caught up by the material nature. Okay. Because of his tendency to enjoy the material nature has taken control over him. Because Krishna says, Daivihi esa gunamayi mama maya durattaya mameva prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Jiva can be free of maya, means the Prakriti, okay, when he surrendered to Krishna. But when he is not surrendered to Krishna, then basically he is in the control of Prakriti, the Maya Shakti. Because Maya is also a Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Daivi here sagunamai mama maya durattaya. It is very difficult to, it's insurmountable. It's very difficult to cross over this material nature. So we will see in a great detail in coming chapter when we will be reading the particular section. And the last is karma. So Jiva, in his attempt to enjoy in the material nature, in the influence of time, does varieties of activity. Okay. So material nature, which is consisting of three modes: sattva, raja, tama. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. And along with the time factor, puts jiva, impels jiva to perform varieties of activity. Okay, variety of activity. That is called karma. And this karma are not eternal, while rest other four are eternal. Why? Because when jiva dissolves his material existence, and he identifies himself as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and when he returns back to the Supreme Abode, then his karma, there is no more karma for him. Okay? The karma chapter is also closed. So that's the reason karma is not eternal. It is our free will by which we can be entangled with the activities, or we will dissolve that. You get what you do. While rest, all four are eternal, but in that Prakriti might appear as not eternal. It's temporary. No. Prakriti is there in two forms, sometimes in manifest form, sometimes in unmanifest form. Okay. When pralaya happens, Mahapralaya happens, all this material creation is dissolved, then also Prakriti remains in the unmanifested form. And when again time comes, again manifest. So in a periodically, Prakriti is manifesting, unmanifesting, manifesting, unmanifesting. So that's the reason it is Nitya, eternal. Okay. So this is basically what is the relationship between Ishvara and Jiva. Ishvara is basically the supreme controller and supreme consciousness, and the greatest of all. He is the Vibhu, and we are the Anu. The living entities, although are part and parcel of him, we are similar in quality. As we are part and parcel of him, we are similar in quality, but not in quantity. That's the basic difference. Okay. We are Satchidananda, but he is infinite Satchidananda. We are a minute Satchidananda. Okay. And as we discussed, material nature, Kala, are everyone is under the direction of the Lord. So it's like an example can be taken, like if we are a gold ornament or a particle of gold, the Supreme Lord is a gold mine. Okay? And it's very obvious, a gold ornament cannot replace the gold mine. In the gold mine, you have abundance of gold. we can also understand like we are a drop of ocean water, but Supreme Lord is himself the vast ocean. So being drop of the ocean water, we inherit also the same quality, similar quality, but not in quantity. This is very important to understand. Okay, and in a sense, you can, as we have the similar nature of enjoyment, okay, or controllership, we can also be called as mini Ishwaraj, subordinate Ishwaraj. We want to lord it over the material nature. And Prakriti, we have discussed, it's not conscious, it's eternal, although it appears to be false. Okay. An example can be taken that the clouds during rainy seasons, clouds are never disappearing. It is just changing the form, sometimes in the water form, sometimes in the cloud form. Okay. And this material nature is unconscious, and it consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance, sattva, raja, and tama. With these three guna, guna also refers quality as well as rope. In these three ropes, he is controlling all the jivas. We are impelled to act under the influence of sattva, raja, and tama in the factor of time. Kala is the eternal time. Kalosmi, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, telling, yeah, Kala is also my energy. And karma, as we discussed, combination of modes, and under the control and purview of eternal time, there are activities. Jiva performs varieties of activities. They are called karma. And these activities, Jiva is performing from time immemorial. Okay. ना जाने कितने जन्मों से वो करते आ रहा है. And because of these activities only, we are suffering the fruits of it in terms of enjoyment or suffering. Like a businessman, if he has, at present, let's say he is making profit. So that means it's the fruit of his past activities. That's the reason he is now enjoying the profit. Maybe tomorrow, if he will incur losses, it is because of his past activities for which he has to experience the fruit. That is loss, that is suffering. Hence, karma is not eternal. And this changes to karma, it depends on the perfection of knowledge. So we can change the fruit of our karma, okay, the reaction to our karma. That only can happen with the perfection of knowledge. Okay, thank you all very much for your patient hearing. And yeah, every week we will have this continuing session. So the flow is like, we are reading daily Bhagavad Gita in the weekdays, and whatever we read for the 5 days, on Saturday we make a recap. And we have created a group in Telegram app where all these daily readings are posted, audios are posted, and relevant materials are posted, and every day participants are participating in the quizzes. So this is very interesting. If you at all develop an interest to read Bhagavad Gita, you can also join this group. Okay, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Thank you all very much.